And while England struggled on with France, her own colonies in America, themselves perhaps the freest men on earth, struck out for even more freedom. At sea, Britain had 28 warships with over 500 guns and 5,000 men at ports between Halifax and Florida. True to her sea doctrine, she commanded the American coast, keeping her own sea lanes open and closing those of the rebellious colonists. The Colonial Navy consisted of a few frigates from individual state navies. Averaging 125 feet in length, they mounted 4 to 12-pounders. 4 of 13 contemplated frigates were destroyed on the stocks to prevent capture. Others were captured, driven ashore, or sunk. The same for many of the new nation's converted merchantmen and privateers. At war's end, our America had no more than 2 ships larger than a schooner. It was sad going. True enough, there was the stirring episode in English waters off Flamborough Head in 1779, when John Paul Jones doggedly held on to and finally beat a good British man-of-war, Serapis. American privateers, too, captured their share of British shipping, such as the brig Suki, shown entering Newburyport, and the Drake, one of Jones's prizes. For all that and other courageous actions that were to found the American naval tradition, it was French sea power, anxious to even old scores, that turned the tide of war, the year 1781. British General Lord Cornwallis, out to conquer Virginia, mustered 7,000 men just off Chesapeake Bay at a place called Yorktown. A despairing Washington found fresh hope from the new American Republic's first friends, the French, who sent their fleet from the West Indies. It was to be one of the few times in history when France, not England, ruled the waves. The French attack on British ships isolated Cornwallis's army, which, with seaward supply lines closed, had no choice but to surrender. Thus, even during its birth, the new nation learned never to forget the prime mandate of survival: be strong upon the sea, if you would be strong upon the earth. A new nation, forging an uncertain unity among its several parts, taming an unmeasured wilderness. It's back to the sea. Across the sea, the old world, a continuing source of people and trade, and danger too.